Sorry, guys. I ate a bunch of popcorn earlier while I was on the phone with my mother. Hey, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Guys, what's going on? It's Program with Pags, or it is Pags, and we're going to do some programming. Today is a Tailwind React tutorial for y'all. So, prefix on what Tailwind is. It's a CSS framework. It makes CSS just amazing, right? It's amazingly easy to work with. So I've initialized just a Tailwind folder that I have named Tailwind-React. Guys, forgive me. I didn't even get some good sounds in here. I didn't even get some good sounds in here, but it's all right. But it is all right. Okay, so all I've done is just pop in a Tailwind React folder. Let's get some tunes going, right? Let me get something, right? And in all this Tailwind React folder it's just empty. And what I want to do is come to my terminal, right? So I'll just press Command tilde, or you can open up your terminal up here. And I could say npx create React app. Let's go ahead and create that. You can always initialize, or I don't think always, but I think there's a way to initialize React applications with Tailwind. Let's look it up real quick. React npx Tailwind command. Maybe there's an initial command. You can just npx -- some template with it. But if not, just npx create a normal React app, and then we're going to go ahead and get Tailwind installed. So I'm going to say npm I. You can see all my radix things and whatnot. But let's go ahead and do Tailwind for React. So I'm going to pop this off to the left. I'm actually not even going to use the npm package. Let's go directly to Tailwind's docs. Let's do that. So I'll say React Tailwind. And you can see this very first link from Tailwind. I will have this link at the very top of the description, right? And it's going to tell you the steps of how to install Tailwind into your React project. So step one, we need a React project. We are currently building one right now. That's what is going on the left here in this terminal. We are doing step one, where we have the folder. We've npx created my project. In this case, Tailwind-React. And then now we are going to do step two. It says step two, guys, and make sure you're on the React one, because there's multiple, there's a Vue one, there's a next one. Make sure you're on the React one. So just setting up CSS in a React project. I will have the link in the description again. So I'm going to do this step two, which is install Tailwind CSS. So I just press the copy button, and then I paste it into my terminal. npm install -d for developer dependency, Tailwind CSS, npx initialize the Tailwind config package. Our Tailwind config is where we are putting all of our configurations. If we want certain typography, if we want certain colors, this is where it's going to go. We want to adjust any heights, any of the custom Tailwind commands. We want to use our Tailwind config. Maybe we can mess around with that today. I didn't really have a solid structure for this video. I just kind of run and gun, you know. So here we are, guys. The next bit I want to do is take this copy part, or I can just take the whole thing. That works too. And I can just paste that into my Tailwind config. What this command is doing in your /src ** or */ star with all the files ending in this, all this is saying is apply Tailwind to all of these content packages. So anything that is in your src folder with all ending in this file. So in Vue, for instance, and I'll have a Vue Tailwind one. This is where I would put .vue here to make sure all of my .vue files are being associated with Tailwind. If you have TypeScript, you could see that TS is in here and TSX. So if we didn't do that, Tailwind would never work on a TypeScript file. Or if we took these out, JavaScript and JSX, it would never work in our .js or .jsx files. So the reason why we have that command here is to have JS and JSX files and TS and TSX files. So I always love that Haram one. Next thing we need to do, just giving you guys a bit of an info bit on this step. But the next step we want to do is to copy down our Tailwind directives. So copy these down, your at base, at components, at utilities. Go to your SRC folder, find your index.css, go to the very top of it, and paste them in, just like this. Boom. And that is all we need to do. And Tailwind should be installed. So now we just run start, and now we can start messing around with Tailwind. You can see steps 5 and 6. So let's go ahead and do that. Guys, I'm going to play some music. Ooh, this is one of my songs. Ooh. Okay, so let's go to our terminal, npm run start. And that'll fire off this this server. So let's open that server up. Localhost 3000. Here we go, guys. Guys, we're doing the deal. We got Tailwind in this React project. This is exciting. This is what happened. What happened to our deal? What happened? Why did it not fire off? I think it opened up a screen over here. Okay, so boom. This worked for us. It opened up my Tailwind, or excuse me, my React application, and I can go ahead and look at my React application now. Let's focus on the left. I can close out of my index.css. I can close out of my Tailwind config. Make sure to save it. And let's go to our app.js. So our app.js, of course, we're seeing all of our things here. I'm just going to go ahead and from header to header, delete all of it and say hello world, right? And for those unfamiliar with Tailwind, and I also just removed that first line, of course, but for those unfamiliar with Tailwind, what we can do, instead of importing our CSS from a separate file, we write the CSS inside the same file, inside our JavaScript files, inside of our JSX. We just write it directly here in our class name. So let me take out app, and you'll see how the text on the left adjusts. The reason is because in our app.css, the app class name command was to align the text in the center. So we're going to undo all of it. We have no CSS on this file. It's a very, very basic file. So what I'm going to do is say w-full, and that's Tailwind's command for with full. And I can say flex text center, and that'll put text in the middle, or it should put text in the middle. Maybe I messed something up here in the config real quick. Let me just make sure to save all this stuff. Weird. Background red 100. Okay, so why is text center not working? I don't know, but let's look into a Tailwind command. If we need to find any sort of Tailwind commands and triggers, just look for the CSS thing that you're looking for. So this in this case, we want to center text Tailwind, right? And it will tell us the text element that we need. So text-center should be doing it. For whatever reason, it's not. I'm not sure. But I obviously we can go down the flex path as well. So it looks like if I do with full, it's doing something different. So if I do text center, that'll align the text, and then as you guys saw, the BG dash whatever, that's background color, whatever color you want, and then you could obviously do your own color. So I could do background green dash 600 or 500. It'll make a really green thing. I could say text dash white to make the text color white. I can also say, let's say background blue dash 600. If you actually see this IntelliSense, this Tailwind IntelliSense, it's a extension. So if we go to our extension and find Tailwind, I think it is just called Tailwind IntelliSense, Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. So guys, I'm really zoomed in for these tutorials, but this is the plugin that I have that you could see. It has all these drop downs right here, and it allows for us to see what our Tailwind is popping up with, right? Our IntelliSense, if you will. So let me zoom back in and show you guys what some of that could look like. So background blue, let's get back to dash 600 or dash 500. I'll say text white. And then I can also say P-4 or P-5 for padding, or P-3. So there's kind of all these Tailwind quick commands, if you will, that allow us to build things. So let's build something. We've kind of messed around a little bit. We've mucked around. We've mucked a few things up. Let's go ahead and say flex dash or w dash full. Flex obviously for display flex, and then justify center for justify content center, and then I could say item center, and that's align items dash center. The same thing in Tailwind, or excuse me, in CSS. And now we have just a basic wrapper for our app, and then I'll also say flex dash call to say flex direction column. So now every div and every element we put in here, so I'll say card, right? It'll stack on top of each other. We have it all organized. Everything is proper. One other thing I could add is min dash height dash screen, and it'll make the height of that wrapper, that div, the parent screen width, or the parent screen height. So that's why what we're seeing on the right here is we have all these cards and or all these HTML elements, if you are JSX elements, that are stacked up on each other. They're centered on the page. There's a wrapper around them. They're items aligned center and justify content center. So it's right in the middle of the page, right? And guys, I want to play some funny things, right? All right. We'll play some jams now. Let's catch a little groove, right? Let's build some stuff in Tailwind. So I'm going to say class name, and what I want to say is BG dash gray. We could say gray 100, and you can see a little gray around that card. Sorry guys, got a beard hair on the keyboard. Don't like to see that. We don't like to see that, right? No sir. Oh God. So BG gray 100. We want to say P-4 for padding 4. I'll say rounded MD for border radius. I'm going to make it actually BG, let's say 500. So we can see it a little bit more defined. And I'll say text dash white. And let's do a little bit of a shadow. Guys, this color looks hideous, by the way. But we can see a little bit of a shadow. Now that card is kind of popped off a little, right? So let's build a little bit better, actually. So I'll say, instead of P-4, I'll say width. And this is how you do custom elements. So obviously in CSS, we could do padding like 4 pixels, 8 pixels, 6.5 pixels if you want. In Tailwind, you do your command. So you say W for width, and then you say your dash, right? Just your Tailwind dash, if you will. Guys, this pesky little beard hair is still on the keyboard. After all of that, it was still there the whole time. Okay, so got it. So W dash, and then we do the brackets. So I can do the brackets here, and then I could say 350 pixels, and that's going to do the custom width of whatever you need. If you want your width 350 pixels, or maybe you could say 200 pixels, whatever you want, or even 200 rem, really big, right? So maybe 2 rem, right? For 8 pixels, I believe that is, or 10 rem, right? But you can do all of your custom CSS commands with the square brackets, and then just pop it in like this. So if you want to do 100%, this is how you do it. I didn't find that out actually until months into working for an enterprise company. So I hope that quick bit helps you guys. So let's stick to 350 pixels. You can do the same thing with colors actually. So let's get a color palette. So I'll just Google color palette. Let's see what we can get here. So color palette generator from Canva. We'll choose this one. These kind of don't look good. Let's find a good one. Salmon sushi. That's kind of fun. All right, let's do that. So if I want to do a custom color, let me get out of my Tailwind deal. If I want to do a custom color, you can see we have BG dash. We do the same thing with the brackets. So on the parent element, I'm going to make a background color. I'll say BG dash, and we add our brackets, and then I could put my hex value in there, and you can see that background turns colors. So if you want to customize Tailwind, you can absolutely do it too. There's no problem doing it. So let's do this background as this color. Oops. And let's see, that looks a lot better now. So that's perfect. Guys, what else can I teach you about Tailwind? Let's build a little bit more. So I've got this card. In the card, what do I want? What do I want in this card? I'm going to say Ryan Pags. Let's make it a bit of a business card. This is kind of a go-to, kind of my hello world component, if you will. Sorry, guys. I ate a bunch of popcorn earlier while I was on the phone with my mother. So I've got some Colonel back there doing quite a damage right now. But we want this. I'll just do a lorem ipsum for a whole bunch of. Shoot, did I just play the song? Dang it, guys, we're gonna have to listen it over. That's perfectly fine though. But we do lorem ipsum to get all of these characters, right? All these random Pig Latin characters. And I'm going to make a bit of a description. So I'll say opacity -50. See, it kind of fades them out. It's like a little info card. And then let's build this Ryan Pags class name. Let's build it a little bit bigger. So I'll say text large and I'll say font -bold to kind of bolden up that font. And in fact, I'll do text 2XL for really big, right? And if I wanted it custom heights again or custom size, I could do 32 pixels. I can do all that stuff here. But for case of point, Tailwind has kind of some of these prefigured, prefabbed classes. So I could say text 2XL Tailwind if I want to figure out more about it. So it'll tell me all the font size right here. It shows you text XS, what it is roughly in CSS size, or exactly what it is in CSS size. Text -XL shows you it's about 1.25 rem or 20 pixels. Side note, 1 rem I believe is 16 pixels. And then what Tailwind can also do, you can also have these quick margin and padding things, right? We kind of covered padding, but you could do margin bottom by saying MB and -4. In each unit in Tailwind, if I do -1, that's 4 pixels. If I do -2, that's 8 pixels. If I do -3, that's 12 pixels. So each -1 is 4 more pixels. So if I do -10, it's 40 pixels of length. So again, if we do quick little tip and trick, guys. If you press, I think it's Option and then space, or excuse me, oops, not Option space. Is it Control and space? It pulls up all of your Tailwind menu. I don't know what it is on Windows, guys. Sue me, you know what I mean? Sue me. But if you press Control space, it drops down all of your Tailwind things that are here that you can pre-configure and choose. So if we want, for instance, you can see how the numbers start to skip. Like there's MB, there is no MB-15. There is no MB-22. They kind of get larger in gaps as those numbers increase. So if you want like an MB-85 for whatever reason, you can go ahead and do 85 times 4, so 320 plus 40. What is that? 360 pixels would be that 85 parameter, that MB-85 if it existed, but it doesn't. So the other thing you can do is go to your Tailwind config, and this is where you can actually let's see, add some custom things. Now, forgive me, we're gonna have to wrestle. We're gonna wrestle with it for a bit, guys. Hold on. So let me go through all this. How do I do custom classes? I know how to do it. I know how to do custom colors, right? So if we want a custom color, we can go ahead and put our custom. We can say like background color, for instance, and instead of hard coding it in as a hex value here, I could take that hex value and pop it into my Tailwind config like this. And then, and we need a comma after this extend or after this colors bracket. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's not right here. Maybe it's here that we need the colors. No? Okay. Guys, this is part of development. You just go ahead and break stuff. Just go ahead and keep breaking stuff until you figure it out, you know? Let me try to break this a little bit more and run the server. So MB run start or npm run start. Let's go ahead and do this. Let me see if this worked before I start coaching you all through it. Gosh dang it. I just played the same song for the third time. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. But now the good news is I don't believe we broke it. And we can actually take this background color and we now have access to this as a global value, if you will, in Tailwind that we just built. We just built that BG background color. We have access to this because in Tailwind, in the config, we can build whatever we want, and you can name it whatever you want as well. So I'll say whatever color name I want in really bad casing, and I can steal this hex value, do the same thing, pop it over here, and we now have this whatever color name I want in really bad casing as our value, or should be as our value. The one thing I do know with the Tailwind config, oh, I see, it just needed to be saved. I was gonna say, sometimes you have to rerun the server. Oh, it looks like that worked. So can I not, do I need to name it as quotes here? Weird. So background color needs to be in quotes, but whatever color name I want, no quotes. Works like a charm. Don't know why, guys. Have no idea why. So I'm just saved both files to kind of iron things out. But this is a little bit about Tailwind. This is why I enjoy it so much. I think it's very quick on the fly, right? You don't even need to customize very much, right? You have a lot of out of the box things. So it's just quick, and there's other things too. There's a Tailwind extension where you can hide Tailwind CSS stuff. So if you don't like how verbose it is, how you can see all your CSS, there's a few things you can do. One, I can copy this all down and say I can make it a class, right? I can say page wrapper, and then come up here and build a variable called page wrapper, and I can paste that in there, and boom, and it's all the same. And now my variable cleans up all the Tailwind commands. So I can also say this is my card, if you will, right? And guys, you could store these values in another file if you want. You can store them wherever. But I could say card color, right? Boom, here we go. And we could do things like this. So I'll do the same deal here, card color. Doesn't change anything, doesn't break anything. It's accessing the same quote value, and we could store this wherever we want. I could pull that in another JSON file. So if we have constants, if you will, I'll go to my SRC folder. I'll say these are my constants, or I can even say colors or something, or CSS values. Kind of defeats a little bit of the purpose of Tailwind. Is like we want to have Tailwind be on the page, but let's say you have a really global CSS class, like an animation class that you want to maintain. You can go ahead and still maintain a bit of that CSS kind of idea. And I could say styles dot what would I say, maybe JS. And let's go ahead and pop this in here. Boom, here we go. So page wrappers here, I'll export it. That's super important to do. And then I just need to, you can see if we delete it off the page, we're obviously getting red underlines, but I will, guys, I'm not going to play any more music. I'm not going to do it for the fourth time. I am not going to play this song for the fourth time. But you can see I just pull in that page wrapper from that CSS file or that styles file. Doesn't change anything. It's all still working. So you can stash away Tailwind values like that. There's also another thing you can do. Let's Google it though, because I don't know what it's called. But hide Tailwind CSS. What was it? Hide Tailwind CSS letters, I guess, or I'll just leave it as that. Hide Tailwind CSS. I don't want to actually hide the visibility as a CSS command. I don't mean that. That's not what I'm looking for, of like saying opacity 0, if you will. Tailwind's kind of cool too. They have things like this. You could do opacity 0, or they also have a fun thing like invisible. So that also works too. They have like kind of their own built right out of the box CSS commands. But there's an extension that I'm specifically looking for that hides all of this CSS values. So I think it is hide Tailwind CSS class extension. Let's try that. Hiding class names. Is there any way to turn this off? This is exactly the thing I'm looking for. So let's see, guys. Let's see if I just right click. I'm sure somebody knows what it is. Is it inline fold? Is that what it's called? Inline fold. All right, let's try it. Boom. Inline fold, guys. We're picking up new extensions. So I believe this is the correct one. And what it does is you can see how it hides all my Tailwind commands. So or all my class names even. So I just need to hover over it and then I can see them again. So if you want to streamline, because for me, I did not use Tailwind for the longest time because it just looks really verbose. But there's multiple ways you could work around it, guys. There's multiple ways to do some Tailwind styling. So I wanted to give this as an action-packed kind of built out deal with so much value for you guys, and feel free to steal little bits of it. Don't take any of it if you don't want, But because I personally don't use this extension, this inline fold. I used to, but then I was like, whatever. I'll just keep it on the page. But I just wanted to give you guys some ideas on how you can customize your colors, your widths, your Tailwind stuff all together and do it quick and prototype fast. So I'm gonna have all this in the description, guys. All of the GitHub repository, all of the everything, all the extension stuff. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.